Thank you very much. Good morning. Welcome to Warwick. It's wonderful to welcome you all here today. As Stephen says, my moment in front of you this morning is to talk about the education experience here at Warwick. And it really starts with this, that sense of a community of curiosity. Hopefully, you have a curiosity about the world, about your subject, about things going on. And it is how we work with you to develop that curiosity that is the focus of really what I want to say for the next 7 or 8 minutes. That curiosity, we want to work with you in a number of different ways. One is problem solving. So yes, you will have here lots of opportunity to think about theoretical work, abstract work, conceptual work, but you'll also have lots of ways of connecting that to real problems in the real world, giving you the sense of how you might have the techniques, the tools, to think about the problems that you want to see solved. And one of the key ways of doing that is to equip you with critical thinking, not just accepting the way that things have always been talked about, written about, thought about, but finding different ways to challenge, different ways to think about particular problems and particular issues. And to do all of that in an international context, because our curricula are genuinely international, and your experiences here, as I shall say a little more later, are genuinely international. And also an intercultural experience, an opportunity to think from different perspectives about the world and our place within it. And when we put all that together, what is the purpose? What is the outcome? Well, there are 2 main outcomes here that I think are really important. One, you become really highly sought after by employers. And that is important. It gives you opportunities, options for that which you want to do next. But 2, and I would say equally important, it makes you highly valued by society. The way in which we try to take that forward is to think about this, how you get immersed in deep thinking. All of our schools and departments are disciplinarily excellent. That is their purpose. That is the purpose of being a school or a department in a university like Warwick. It gives you an opportunity to specialise in particular disciplinary focus if it is that which you want to do. But there are plenty of interdisciplinary options within departments and schools and across departments and schools. The way in which we try to encourage that immersion is not just through lectures and laboratory sessions and classes, important though they are. It is also to create, to support, to develop that community of curiosity. Students learning together. One of the things we talk a lot about is co-creation, where students and staff work together on issues connected to the curricula. What other materials have people come across? What have they heard about? Where are they making a connection in a different disciplinary area? How do we bring that together? And encouraging and supporting our students to learn together is a really key part of that which we want to do. Now, of course, students are not on their own. There is support. There is support from module tutors and personal tutors. There will be support in the first year with residential life tutors. Each of our departments has senior tutors. Those senior tutors are connected together. We're underneath and working with our Dean of Students. The role of all of these people is to support the student as an individual and also to support cohorts of students, to work with cohorts of students as well as individuals to how we might respond and react and adapt and evolve the way in which we're working. There's other elements of support as well, of course. We have our student staff liaison committees. This is an opportunity for students to be elected onto a committee in their school or department and to sit with academic members of staff and go through sets of issues representing students and student interests. We also have, and I'll say a bit more about this later, an extensive set of support around employability. How students are encouraged and supported to develop their CV, to develop their thinking about what it is they might want to do after university, and to give some guidance, some support, some activities to help progress in those areas as well. One of the key things is developing space to learn. If you think that one of the key things here is not just the lectures, but also giving space and encouragement for students to learn together, what is key is to have flexible, high-quality space in which to learn. Our Oculus building, which maybe some of you have seen so far, but no doubt during your day here you will see, is our spiritual home of learning on our campus. And it has spaces of this sort, that students will get together in groups of 2 or 3 or 4 on a particular joint project, or thinking about a particular problem, or working through some of the issues that have been raised in a recent lecture, or just finding a bit of time and space to be together, to dwell together, as well as to learn together. We've got, as Stephen said, a lot of new investment ongoing. We've opened recently our new Mathematical Sciences building, the Bhattacharya building, which is our showcase for our collaboration with industry and our way of bringing students together with companies. We've got our wellness hub. We've got a Faculty of Arts building going up next door, an interdisciplinary biomedicine research building going up on Gibbet Hill. Lots of new developments. And the theory, the drive in all of this is not just high quality, but creating space for our students to learn within all of those new buildings. One of the things that I think is also really important in a university such as this is new thinking. In a sense, that's what universities are really all about. They are supposed to be places where new thinking can be developed and tested and adopted or rejected. How do we think about challenges in new and different ways? And for a university such as Warwick, this is a really key part of our DNA. We are a charity. As a charity, we have to have charitable objects, and we have 2 charitable objects. One is, of course, around education, and the other is around research. And we take research incredibly seriously. In the last assessment nationally of research excellence, this university came 7th. We're only 50 years old. There are a number of universities quite a lot older, quite a lot larger, and an opportunity to get quite a long way ahead of us. But we're closing those gaps because of that commitment to new and fresh thinking. The way in which that connects through to the life of the university is in a variety of different ways. One is supporting students in this space of new thinking as well. We have many students who will start up their own social enterprises, start up their own companies, and we provide increasing support through a lot of that work as well. But one of the other things that's important is to see how it is that students at undergraduate level can do research themselves. Of course, there are projects, there are dissertations, which may be a core part of the program, it may be a choice that you can take, but we have other ways in which we support undergraduate students to do research. So, for example, the Undergraduate Research Support Scheme is a scheme where students can apply to be funded, to be connected with some of those world-leading research groups. Our International Conference on Undergraduate Research is a 24-hour, round-the-world, video-linked opportunity for students to present and discuss their ideas with other students from institutions genuinely globally. Now, the way in which we want to think about this is really fresh perspectives. This is a global institution. We're globally connected. But that global nature is really manifested here on campus. More than 150 nationalities here on campus. The Times Higher does an analysis of what they describe as the most international universities in the world. And they put 3 things together to come up with that analysis. The first is the proportion of students who are international. The second, the proportion of staff that are international. And the third, the proportion of scientific published papers that are co-authored with somebody based outside of your home country. It is a measure of who we are and what we do. And in that measure, every year, Warwick sits in the top 20 in the world. This really is an extraordinary global experience. A global experience here, an intercultural experience here. And you have opportunities to take advantage of that, not just on campus, but also through placements, through mobility options around the world. And putting all that together gives you the opportunity to really create a fantastic portfolio of knowledge and skills and achievements when it comes to thinking about what you do next. Our reputation amongst employers is high. But we're not satisfied with that. We've just, 10 days ago, opened our new Student Opportunities Hub, which you will probably see if you're walking around the piazza outside. This is about encouraging and supporting students to think even earlier in their university career about what their real interests are, to think still earlier in their career about developing that portfolio. There are more than 3,000 opportunities for students to be elected, to run clubs, societies, to sit on those student staff liaison committees I mentioned earlier, to develop leadership potential, to develop leadership experience, all the sorts of things that employers are looking for. If you look at some of the government data, something called the longitudinal educational outcomes data, you can tell it's a government report, can't you? That says that students after 5 years who graduate from Warwick are amongst the most highly paid of students graduating from university in the country. But that's not our driver. If that is what you want to do, we will support you to get to that end. But if you want to do something different, if you want to work in the public sector, if you want to work in charities, if you want to start your own social enterprise, we will support you as well. The key is to work with you early to help find out what it is that you really want to do and you really want to achieve.